Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. My name is Cody Bills. This is Brock Shimano. Today is April 17th, a Thursday for the weekly wrap-up. Let's turn right over to the platform here and see where we closed off the week. Corn trading at $4.94 3/4 for that May contract, down 2 3/4 cents on the day. Soybeans for May trading at 15.14, down 4 3/4 on the day, and wheat trading up 3 1/4 cents to 6.91 1/4. Brock, we had export sales this morning. Did that help contribute to some of the selling we saw in corn and soybeans?
I think for corn and soybeans we were mostly in line with expectations, so it wasn't really a market mover for corn and soybeans. Wheat, we did get a little bit of support. We beat analyst expectations pretty handily here today. Taking a look at the numbers, 438,000 metric tons were reported for export sales for wheat on the old crop. Corn, 601,000 metric tons, and soybeans just a slim 19,000 metric tons. But we need to keep in mind where we stand for this marketing year. If you take a look at this chart here, you can see the red line is the seasonal pace to meet the current USDA projections for corn on this chart. The blue bars are what we're seeing for weekly totals. And take a look at the green line. That's the one we need to pay attention to here. That's the amount of bushels in millions of bushels, how far ahead or behind the pace to meet current USDA projections are. You can see on corn we're well ahead of pace to meet projections, 186 million bushels there. For soybeans, a similar story. If we take a look at where we stand for this marketing year on soybeans, the green line, once again, you can see we're falling off substantially on the pace, ahead or behind, to meet current USDA projections. Currently we're about 155 million bushels ahead of pace, but like I said, we have been falling off that pace rather substantially over the last several weeks.
That sounds fair enough. And actually, let's swing over here and take a look at the basis situation. If you look here on for soybeans, you'll notice that we did see basis improve along the river, particularly that Mississippi River. One thing to note is that basis along the rivers for soybeans increased 5 pennies here, or 5 cents, which is pretty substantial. We actually have seen barge rates declining here, and I think that's helping out the river markets. But most of all, what's helping out the river markets is the fact that on April 14th, Lake Pepin is open. That's a lake just south of Minneapolis, and that's a lake that you need to navigate through to get that barge lane open up into the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. It looks as though the first towboat is going to traverse the lake here today, actually, and really we've seen a huge amount of, or not huge, but a large amount of barges, 378 near Lock 27 here, heading upriver that are empty. So those barges are all going to be filled up with grain and moved down to the Gulf, most likely. Not only that, we have 105 barges at Lock 27, which are filled with fertilizer headed upstream as well. Those will likely also, or could, be filled up with grain and move south. And I think that's part of the reason why we're starting to see basis improve here. I think it's also another reason why we're seeing a little bit of basis improvement in that western Minnesota, Fargo area, which has been very, very affected by the logistics problems, particularly by rail. And really a lot of that grain has just been landlocked. I think this is going to provide an avenue for some of that grain to escape here, and I think it's helping out basis, particularly along the river.
So it looks like for around the river you want to be looking at maybe selling some soybeans if you have some old crop left. Looks like the basis is starting to get bid up there along the river.
Yeah, absolutely.
Taking a look at those northern plains, what's going on there, Cody?
Well, when you look at the northern plains, like you mentioned, and I think part of it, like what I said just a little bit ago, is that this is going to alleviate some of the pressure. It's going to help move that grain out of there, and it's going to help improve basis. And we see a little bit in western part of Minnesota for corn, but primarily soybeans is the one that's really being affected here. And take a look at this chart. North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota average soybean basis. You can see it just tanked here really at the end of January, and we're starting to turn up. We actually improved about 3 cents on average for those states here for soybeans this week, which was it was above the average for other states. So I think this is going to be very positive for those northern plains going forward.
It seems like basis is getting a little bit of lift here as we come into the springtime. One thing to keep in mind heading through the weekend is that the markets will be closed tomorrow for Good Friday holiday. Sunday they'll reopen at the normal time for Sunday night trade, so that'll be something to keep on your radar as we head throughout the weekend.
Thanks a lot for tuning in, and remember you can take a demo of the mobile trading platform at grainhedge.com. There's a little ticket up there. Fill in your name, your phone number, and your email address if you want to see live quotes on your mobile device and on your desktop. Thanks a lot, and happy Easter.